Let's see what we got. So a lot of these chefs took us out. I'm still got my eye on them. Is there anything that anybody want to look at? Go back over a couple of things might have had. Wow, that mm, Cash Chef really took off from the zone right here. Let's see where we got this zone from. Oh yeah, it really took off from that real clean area again. Uh, just pretty much playing off of this bullish run that they did prior, coming down and pushing it down. And pushing again, attempting to break these more major highs, but then breaking little minor highs up in this area. So as the market came back to this fresh area, yeah, it's getting a nice bullish push, which we should have been involved with, but we was not. I almost want to say that was in the Discord. Let's see. Let's see if that was on the Discord. Actually, Cash Chef, CAD JPY, CAD JPY, CAD JPY. I thought we put the CAD Chef in the Discord, but we did not. Okay. All right. Okay. Wow. Not a problem. Not a problem. Can you take a look at the GP, the British Chef, for possible bullish move to come? Okay, let's see. Oh, good. The notifications are coming up. I was having problems with that before. All right, so British Chef. Let's erase everything. Make sure we on the screen. Yes, we are. Okay. All right. So looking at structure wise, I don't really have no real defined. Yeah, they really don't have like a defined trend. The overall trend, like if we was to look on higher time frames, would 9 times out of 10 be down. I mean, I see them making lows to thus far, making lows, lower highs or higher lows. Sorry. Same area for lows, so we can't count this as like a low. So this is still the same leg, so to speak. They finally broke it, right? But they didn't really hold the sales very much down in this area. So I would even still say that this is still low. But the point of it is overall, uh, overall bias is down on this. You can even see them kind of shaking down now. So what they're doing right this second, um, what they're doing right this second, and I can see where you can say for a possible bullish. Again, I always say if you want to buy, you right. If you want to be a buyer, you're right. If you want to be a seller, you're right. It's more of a timing thing. If if I was going to be a buyer, and have the reason to with more criteria behind it. I do see this bullish push from here that we could easily maybe start plotting out some areas where you would want to be a buyer. It's that 6162 area, 62% area right there. That gives it pretty good. It's actually there and gives a good reason to at least investigate it as far as saying a buy opportunity. Even make this green to represent that we're looking for a buy. And KTG, we always like to anticipate. We don't like to participate. So we would have already had this marked up, thinking that we wanted to get some opportunity in this area. So we talk about market falling into it. Maybe we looked at this maybe a 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, maybe a week ago, and had that already, that area. But that's a whole nother thing. So with that, I would look for some confluence in that area to see that if this is a good binary. We do see that they got bullish in this area. To that point, though, they are making lower lows, minor lower lows in different universes, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Right? But to add more confluence to that area, if we was looking for a straight demand and supply areas, in this case, to be a buyer, you want to look for demand. This is a good demand area right here. Right, that you see that the market actually came to, gave a reaction, but then pushed through. Right, so that's not really showing much from the bulls at this point. It's not really showing much strength coming in from the bulls to proceed to go up. As you can see, they didn't make any highs. So the bears took over again. It would be the same situation even in this level right here. Right? Did the bulls really show up to continue going up? If not, the bears will push down to search for more demand, which will probably be in this little bird nest area. Even if I wanted to mark it off, and remember, we're not literal as far as our investigation. It's just places that we need to take notice of. We know that they zoned out areas and stuff like that. So in this bird nest area, per se, they'll probably look for more demand, which means they could come down some more. So what will have to happen is, knowing that they have a heavy push down, knowing that they are at a level of support. And I really didn't get much. I really didn't get much confluence other than this demand area that they passed and this 62 area that they kind of beating up right now. Usually when they beat up the 62 area, if they don't start making little minor highs, they're going to continue coming down to search for more demand. So we would have to go down to a lower time frame or a lower universe to get more closer to the fight of what's going on between the bears and the bulls. And the only way we could do that is actually go down into lower time frame. I'm going to skip all the way down to the 1 hour and see exactly what's going on in that area and if they're responding to that area as far as being a real buy. This is when I put in more of the technical factors into it, right? The technical factors as far as your image, your volume, of course, your momentum indicators, stochastics, MACDs, RSIs. I like to use RSI. I put those more into the pot as it's brewing, so that I could get more information, or at least take my data from the first part of the investigation and scrutinize it even more with some technical some technical points to it. So the market coming down. What I like to see too is a thing to notice is how overextended, in this case, the particular push is. So stuff like real easy stuff like how many days of sales did they do? Even from here, like when they ranged out, which is manipulation area, we can say that they did 1 day of sales. It's the same. I won't even call that a sale. They did 2 days of sales, 3 days of sales, right? And then this area got a little overextended. So, we talking about 3 days of sales. I wouldn't want to take any kind of reversals or any kind of counter trends unless you know that they actually push that leg to the furthest extent that they possibly can. And if you took it from the top, they actually made a couple of days of sales. To be honest with you, more than three. It'd be five. You see here, we can count it from here. This is one. This is 2 days of sales. This is the same. I wouldn't even call that 3, 4. So we talking about 4 days of sales. That yeah, this bearish push is getting overextended. But now, how are they reacting? Are they losing steam as they make lower prices, as they keep probing for lower prices, more demand? Well, right away here, volume wise, they kind of peaked up a little bit, but as you can see, the buyers kind of peaked up a little bit, got a little interested. But as you can see, they didn't make any highs, minor highs, but nothing serious. And they pushed past this point. um, as they continue to keep making lower prices, it is not until they get lower than this that you start seeing it get even more agitated. Let's see if I can blow this up. All right, so we passed this point right here, the lower prices, and they get a little agitated. Buyers get a little agitated, but then again, they didn't make any highs, so we can't take that too serious, but we have to take that for account. Then as the market makes it down here, they really get intrigued by the lower prices. Really, really intrigued. We can see it. This even could have been some news, give or take 11 o'clock, November the 3rd, 30th. I'm not sure, 10 o'clock. It could have been some news, but the bulls did respond to that area of lower prices and they pushed and they attempted to try to break highs, but they did. So bears are still activated, and as you can see, they even broke that area right there. But as they get the lower prices or attempt to get the lower prices, what happens? The market get lower, 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 and now look at the volume. The volume right now is low. This is the lowest price that they obtained, and it don't look like the bulls are very, very interested down here. So when I see that, to me, it lets me know that it's a very, very good chance that the market is going to turn back around and search for more demand because they didn't really get enough to push like they should. And then even still, like now they're just getting to the point where they may be getting to the point where they're attempting to break higher highs, right? It would be in lower time frames because that's not even a major higher high. But even with that, are they fairly struggling to do that? When you look at it, are they fairly struggling? Because now, in different time frames, universes, you can see this attempt to make a higher high just got swooped out. So they kind of struggling to make highs. I think if any bullish hit would have been taken, it would have been from the bottom, you know, with more criteria to it to push. But I don't know if I would want to be a buyer at this point. If they came down lower, gave us more information, then we could see about it, about being a buyer. So if I go back to the daily, where I would like to be a buyer is probably in this area right here that I would look for it. Now, it's just my opinion, disclaimer. Um, I actually just do this for as a hobby. I don't do this for real, so don't take me too serious. It's just education and entertainment, people. You cannot sue me for anything that I say. I won't allow you to. So that's just my opinion, honestly. Back to being serious. That's my opinion. Again, if you want to be a buyer, the simple equation of that is you have to have sellers to be a buyer. And if you want to be a seller, then you have to have buyers to be the seller. Right. And again, both of them are right. It's just a timing thing. So I don't know about being a buyer at this point. I almost want to tell you I wouldn't want to latch on to what they're doing right now, this momentum of coming down. Another thing too, real quick, and I see one more thing. I see another thing that people do with these momentum indicators like stochastic MACDs and RSIs. They're strictly use them as reversal indicators, which I do see a diversion here. I really do. Diversions, if people know about diversions, just diversions means that reversal is imminent. It means that it's going to happen. Imminent means that it's going to happen for sure, but they never tell you when. So even like this, diversion just simple is, the price is not catching up with the momentum, or the momentum is not catching up with price. As you can see, just simple a line drawn from here to here, these two low points, and this low points that's on the same let's do this. You can notice that this line is pointing up a little bit more, where this line is swaying down. So that's trouble in the momentum and price. You have divergence. Simple lesson in that. I don't want to get into too much of that. But the problem is about that is a lot of people just use this as a reversal. When they see divergence, then it's supposed to reverse. I can show you that's not really how you should really look at this all the time. I can show you an example real quick. This is a diversion too. We can clearly see that this is coming down, this line, and this line down here, which is in the same 2 points of the two lows, is going up. We have a trouble in price and momentum. Somebody would look at this as a reversal, and they would enter into right here. And if you notice, it did not make any highs. So that's what people go wrong at. That doesn't mean that it's reversal. It just means that, yeah, momentum is going way too fast, or price is going way too fast in the momentum to catch up. They're not synced up, but that doesn't mean the market is going to turn around right then and there. So in this point, I'm going to give y'all a little tip. Hopefully y'all catch this. We're going to add them being oversold in that area too, right? So when we look at this in the diversion here, and they oversold in that area of divergence, when we look at the lower price, which is this right here, wow, about to get real scientific with y'all. No, this is the lowest price right here of this whole sequence. This is the lowest price, and yes, it's oversold, and yes, that's the end of that diversion when we put that line. But this lowest price, when we look at volume, is very, very low. And what do we know about low price? They attract sellers. I'm sorry, they attract buyers. And buyers don't look very interested right here. So this oversold, it don't represent that they're going to be pushing up. It actually means that when the market makes it to this area, it's going to slide by that area really fast. And that's what it did. Maybe I'll explain that another time because I know people might have lost that, but no problem. What we got? Oh yeah. I see. Yeah. And confluence is real important because that's basically us saying that look, all the stars are aligned. You got to have some confluence. You got to. You have to. What else we got? Euro Aussie looking for a buy. Let's see. See, having a look. I would look for lower prices before I buy on the British chef for a buy. Well, I don't know about that, but boy, this was a really good area. Wow, was that on the Discord? Hold on, give me 1 second. How am I missing all these good that is not on the Discord. Well, yeah, well, this is a very good area to look for sales. As you see, they pushing down. That's very cool for that, right? So now the thing is, let's look at the whole overall. Kind of get a thought about it. All right, so they, in this daily, they definitely bullish. Overall, they did a bullish push, and this just to me looks like a very, very scary pullback. Basically in the long run for buyers, it's just like a scary pullback that's going on. So I do see that. I do see that. But what happened is they found some demand up here. I'm sorry, some supply up here, and they pushed down really heavy from this area. So that is a show of weakness, a very heavy show of weakness, right? So I do see where we can get opportunities for sales too, and that's what happened right here. Right? So selling from the top, buying from the bottom, just something simple as get in where you fit in. Wait a minute. Small technical difficulties. Let's see what happened. Uh-oh. 1 second, y'all. Okay. So get in where you fit in type thing, let it run down. You might want to look for might want to look for buys off of these floating supports that's going on if you want to, right? Which will, if we was looking for confluence, we'll probably read up with something like that. You got resistance, meet support. This would be a good area to look for an opportunity for a buy. Don't mean that it's going to be a heavy buy to make higher highs. It just means there's opportunity to take maybe a quick hit up 40, 50, 60 pips, give or take, of what they're giving. Confluence wise, of course, you got this little run that they did. It's cool. I could give you a reason to buy. Hurry up and buy. I could give you a reason to buy. You want to be a buy? I'll give you a reason to buy. You just got to have some timing with it. That's all. It might not be the time to buy right now. I wish people would say that. You'll get these signals from these people and they be like, oh, you're going to buy this and that. You'd be like, what? When? How? And who? And what's the reason for it? So look, you got a fib hit that's 62% up in there. You got the resistance meeting support, meeting to a possible support, right? You got some overshoot shot levels and stuff, and then KTG level one course. You level one basic course, by the way, because level two is coming. You will learn on how we really look at support and resistance in a structure wise, and you can see as it approach areas, you have support areas that will support and resistance in this area. But not only that, you have support, resistance, respect the resistance, and going forward later, going on. You have these areas that's been tagged many of times to become a good level. Now we know that literally this line will mess you up because overshoots of lines and stuff like that, it gets people messed up. The limit trades, they'll put a limit right at the line. We know that this is a zone area that can be a zoned area that can be tapped. Um, it don't necessarily have to just bounce right off it. It could go through it, trap traders in, and then push. So that would equate for all of this area. Me personally, I would like the market to actually make its way down deep into these areas. And then you will see buying come in if they want to buy, and the bears are not strong. But if the buyers want to buy, they would be in these areas, and this is where I would want to be a buyer. If not, then sales commence. They're going to continue to keep going on to these areas to look for more demand and everything, which could be further off to the left. So right here, I would want to be a buyer if by chance. And then even with that, let's put this. Maybe back up to this area, maybe even 50% of this run that is giving you and stuff like that. But it'll give you a nice and pretty good. You got space in the matrix. Oh God. Yeah, so you got space. You have space to play with. Let's put it like that. 200-300 pips. You think you sacrifice a few of those. So you think of anywhere between, a good 50 to 100 pips that you could gain off it with no problem. Let's just put it like that. Double up monies. You know how we do. Double, triple up the money. All money in, no money out. That makes a good day. And then, of course, we would go down to lower time frames when they get down into them areas for that. Until then, you can kind of see it's kind of making its way down. It's just making its way down. Making its way down. Anything else, fellas? What y'all want to look at? Keep them coming. Let's keep it coming. Might as well. Ain't got nothing to do. Let's analyze and use it as a teaching tool. All right, so as a good example, this is Euro Chef. Wow. I went all the way over here to find this. Again, when the market is flaring down, they're searching for demand. Simple supply and demand teaching. When the market is selling, they're searching for demand. When the market is buying, they're searching for supply. In this case, the bears are searching for demand. When we learn about supply and demand, this little bird nest area should be investigated. And I decided to record this little area right here, these wicks that symbolize some fights from the buyers and sellers in that area, a lot of activity. So I decided to take this, and even if I was to pull it over, I kind of grab some of this too. So all of that is in factor, right? We talk about information stations for those KTG initiates, information station, right? On level two, we will actually go more deep into information levels and really, really refine our areas that we want to investigate. Because even though we learned how to be an investigator, you don't want to be a sloppy investigator, which means that you all over the place investigating. You're investigating the ice cream truck hit when it's a murder around the corner that you want to solve. You around here helping people get cats out the trees and stuff like that, and it's a diamond ice up the street. So no, so we're gonna refine our information levels, and we gonna see about that. So yeah, with the chef, the chef, it did give a bullish hit off of that refined area. Will it continue? I don't know. It's levels up under it that I see they could probably search for, but if I go down to the lower time frame as far as what they've been doing when they did hit this area, as soon as they got to this area, they got real frisky. The buyers got involved, right? But they didn't make any highs, they didn't change any characters on it. It's not until now that they actually changed the characters, which is cool. You got an overshoot of this area where the Bulls was interested at. They pushed through, but they didn't really. So you got breakout traders that took some sales and they might have got trapped up in this area. This to me looks more of a good buy situation, right? Because they changed the characters in the whole form and made higher highs, right? That doesn't mean they won't still come down to check these lows, right? But it's more of a get in where you fit in type thing. Right away, again, if the market coming down, I mean they searching for a little. That's a riddle that you could, as far as supply and demand. Which way is the market going? It's going up. They're searching for supply. It's going down. They're searching for demand. So if they searching for demand, and I'm trying to get in where I fit in at, then it makes sense that I will record or document or compile this particular data as far as demand being heavy right there. We have to do a course on supply and demand and what I'm looking for exactly for supply and demand and stuff like that. So, and it doesn't mean that this market will, that I got to have more factors to it. Got to have more credentials, more criteria to it as far as to say as buy, but I'll be looking for a buy in that area. And of course, you got this area down here that they could overshoot and trap more traders as far as that go. So yeah, I agree. I would like to be a buyer in this area though. Let them come down and let them do the work. And I agree. GJ, let's look at GJ. Again, on certain things too. Once you advance on different, once you advance on your trading, your mind start really working. So look, if we before I go to GJ, if we was looking for this, anticipating this to come down, you actually could go into lower time frames and see, wow, can I latch on to this quick sell to this point? And I'm gonna tell you that the Bears are interested on pushing back down. So it's a good chance they're gonna push down. So stuff like that, you say, okay, good. I can take me a quick counter going down, or take it to that area that I'm trying to get to or whatnot with good reason and stuff. And all of that good stuff. There. Let's go to the British JPY. Well, I already like this area too, so that's what we were looking for. And I actually, wow. The thing with this is they beat this area up so much that I want to say the market coming down, right? Market is coming down in this particular universe. The market is coming down, and they did make higher highs right here, right? But they beating up this demand area. And as the market, so what happens is in order for the market to go up to search for supply, it has to find demand, soak it up, and it has to be more demand than it is supply in the whole area. They obviously gained some supply up here from somewhere. I could go back in history, supply, and it must be a whole bunch of supply because they pushing down and they even starting to beat up areas where the buyers was once before. Right? Doesn't mean that the buyers are completely out. It just means that in this area is too much sales and it's pushing down. So even with that, that is pushing down and they beating up this area. Like literally, when I mean beat up is I don't know why I got that green line there, but I don't want to move it. But if I move this all the way over, beating it up mean they've been here so many times already. Support, 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 support. Y'all remember y'all remember spades? All those that play spades. How many books you got? I got one book, two books, three books, four books, five books, six books, and a possible. Man, y'all spade players actually catch that right there. So I got 5, 6 books in the possible. You know, what happens is this is getting beat up way too many times. If it was demand here, it's absorbed up. It's absorbed up. It's not high probability that I would want to take a buy from this area. I just wouldn't because is if it is demand area, it's going to be absorbed up. So if you notice, I have a really, really clean area right here of demand. Remember, if the market is coming down, in which I think is 9 times out of 10 going to blow past this area, it's a good chance. I don't know, it could push. But if it do blow past this area, it's going to probably come to straight to here. So for me, I don't know about buys, but I will go into the lower time frames and look to see if they're actually giving good reasons for sales at this point. As you can see, they made lower lows right here. So even in this little swing, until they just broke it, they was on sales, right? But this would be that major higher low that I would look to want to break as far as sales. So even if I was to pull a fib from this point to this point, they extremely beat up the 6-1 and came to an area again. The market, wow, the market is fractal. So if the market is going up, then they're looking for supply. If I was trying to be a seller in this case, like I say, I'm more so leaning towards high probability of sales, and I would want to be a seller. If I want to be a seller, then I need to look for a supply area that need to be cleaned up, what we call cleaned up, or information station that need to be tested and whatnot. And it would be in this little bird nest area. Bird nest. That's fishermen's talk there for all my fishermen that get their lines in the bird nest. In this little bird nest area right here, as you can see, the market pushed heavy, which means there's full of supply in this area, and even up here too. But it's full of supply in this area. If I was to draw, and I was anticipating that move, and I already did my analysis and everything, then right here is a place that I would want to be a seller. And you can see that it's pushing down from here. Let me go down to the lower time frame real quick. I just want to see volume wise how they dealing with it up there. Sellers got real interested in this area. I mean, they had already from this point in the morning broke minor lower lows. So even when they came up 3 o'clock in the morning for the London opening, bears showed up and they showed out, and now they're making legs coming down. So yeah, again, for me, it'd be more higher probability for sales to look for sales on that. would be good is maybe another push back up to this area. Maybe another push to this area, and to see if you're lucky, to see if the Bears will show back up again, uh, to push down again. But it might not even make it there, to be honest with you. Where's the 200 at? Wow, they just broke the 200. So just imagine, remember, we use these. This is, I'm on the 5 minutes right now. We use these MAs as floating resistance and support. At one time, it was support. Now it's being used as resistance. So there's a good chance it might not even make it back up there. Anything else, y'all? What else y'all got? Would this be a good sell right now? Personally, y'all, I wouldn't take it. I don't like to take things down here. But I will say this. That if I did want to take a continuation, and again, we're bearish here, volume wise, we have these things that's called, well, actually they call no supplies and no demands and stuff like that. VSA. Not going to get deep into it, but at KTG we call them no ceilings, no floors. And to all of my more advanced initiates, y'all guys know that this right here is a showing of no floor, and it's being heavily confirmed right now. Still got 38 seconds being heavily confirmed right now. So even if it, kind of jag around here, do things like this, go up a little bit, maybe even tap this line or whatever. We got kind of some confirmation that the market do still want to continue to mark down some more. So things to look at. That's just something to look at. So if I wanted to be a seller in this continuation type kind of look, probably a poke at this, maybe knocking out some of this high right here of people wanting to be a seller right now, and then the market go up and take these stop loss and then push it down, stuff like that. But other than that, personally, I it's too far. I like to be up here somewhere off of these levels, because by now I already took my risk off the board, and I probably would have already took some money in my pocket and stuff and gave it room to allow it to continue to keep going down. So. All right, I don't see no questions. Gives me a chance to a quick commercial break to plug the university. Yes, the university. What? KTG got a university? The university, where you will get full access if you admit yourself at $150 for the level 1 KTG course. You get full access to the Follow Me strategy, which is $50 individually, but that comes along with joining the university. You also would get the Discord, which is, but we don't want to talk about the Discord. Let's look at the course curriculum, right? And just see, because why do we call this the level 1? And I should have wrote off basic course. The level 1 course is because even though y'all guys are trading or / pushing buttons, y'all still don't know all of these fundamentals. Stuff like trading psychology, candlesticks. Yes, right. Candlesticks part 2. That means you really see, look, we made 2 parts of this. So that means you really got to focus on what a candlestick is, because it's telling you a story. uh charting system. We're not gonna trends and ranges. Trends and ranges. What is that? True support or resistance. I kind of showed y'all guys that with the line chart. Trade setups. And of course we entries and exits and we put it together, right? And then your next step is going to be level two. Level two course. That level two course is coming real soon. And it's gonna go more into the depth of what you learned from level one. So that means in order for you to hold on 1 second, I'm sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Somebody is give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, y'all. Sorry about that. Yeah. That was somebody at my door. Sorry about that. All right. So level one, boom, and yeah. So that's criteria. The curriculum. You're gonna learn a lot. We're not gonna just leave you out there to hang like that with the sharks. You got the Discord. It's only $25 a month. You get boatloads of things. Listen, even if you're not a member of the university, you still can be part of the Discord. If you're a trader, man, and you need some healing, some trading healing, we here for you, man, because a lot of times you just need to refine what you know and what you're doing and really pump gas into your strategy or pump some energy or motivation into your methods of trading. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to change anything you're doing. We just want to enhance what you got going. So let's see. Um, does the CCAT look like it's continuing down? Taking it to the streets. Let's take it back to the ooh. Um, let's take it back to the charts. It looks like it's going down. The GCAT, I think we talked about this. I'm not sure. I don't want to see markets, but let's see. Uh, well, continuing down. Again, preference wise, I would have liked to be up here. So that's a little bit too much selling for me. A lot of mistakes that traders like do is they would see this, and that's FOMO. FOMO. What is FOMO? Now I know y'all know what FOMO is. Not KTG, not y'all. But I'm saying I know everybody know what FOMO is because that's one of the famous words to say these days. It just sounds good to roll off the tongue. FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. And right now, a lot of people who thought about selling right here, and they might have been right at that time, 21, which was 9 o'clock at night, and they didn't sell. When they woke up this morning, it was down here. And what do you think they said? Oh my gosh, I'm missing out on my Ferraras. On my Ferraras. And y'all hold on 1 second. Let me get my package outside. Give me 1 second. right. You know, they like to steal packages. Everybody got a job to do. So yeah, so FOMO, and so look, they selling right there. Let's make this into a teaching moment. I love it. So what you get is you get people to sell. Let's make him red to symbolize sales. And so you get people to sell because they missing out. They missing out on their Ferrari. They're missing out on all of these good old things. I'm not even gonna make it. Just a whole bunch of sales going on right up in there. And so what happens is, with all those sales, cluttered of sales, a shark is out there lingering around, looking to buy up all of these sales, all of these late sales, all these late comers, these FOMO people. And when they do, and they make him green, because that symbolized the big man um, buying up all of these sales. I didn't even mean to put two, but that's going to symbolize some good buying right there. What happens is they buy it up and they make their way up. But think about it. They're probably going to go up to a place. If it's going up, they're looking for supply. Back to where they was selling at. Could be here. Don't mean they're going to flare down all the way. Don't even mean they're going to stop here and they could actually pass through. But this is great opportunity, not for the retailers, but for the big fish or the institutions to buy up all of these sales. So that's a lot of selling going on. And yes, I do think it will continue, but not right there. I wouldn't want to be a seller. Uh, Maybe even back to this area right here to even sell if you wanted to, or right here. But I wouldn't want to be a seller here. Actually, that green area down there symbolized that I will be looking for some kind of opportunity for a buy. And yeah, they probably would continue down, but I probably would look for a buy in that area as it's coming down into the area. Because again, if it's coming down, it's not about selling. It's about where can I get in? Where are they going to get? Going down means they're searching for demand. Going up means they're searching for supply. So, so we'll see how that works out right there. We'll see. 8:41. We could probably cut it off at 9, y'all. Unless y'all want to stay for the 9:30. Matter of fact, um, I will be back myself. Give me one moment, y'all, for these brief intermissions. All right, back again. Yep, I'm back again. There we go. So during that break, got a question about New Zealand USD. So I'm gonna go back over that real quick during the break. Right. So what we was looking at again, it's about opportunities and the opportunities that you. That's what the market is about. It's actually about you preparing for the opportunities and stuff, and then you just benefiting from them particular opportunities. And I believe we did mention this earlier in the stream about New Zealand USD, but the fact that they breaking lows and not, breaking lows and they overshot this particular area, I would want to think at this time they would want to use it as a resistance, but in time of waiting for the market to maybe make a potential sell down to these clean demand areas, lower time frames will give us opportunity for buys up into the areas where we want to be sellers. That's what I mean by capitalizing on all opportunities and what it is giving you. Now, off of this, it's already given us a markup, a small markup from this area, overshot area of pushing up, which gives us, it gives more validity on us saying that we want the market to make it into this red area to be a seller. So counterwise, we can take some ups. Uh, yes, we did do this on the stream. So symmetric wise, we, as you see, we put the symmetric measurements, and we were saying that we would want to maybe take another measurement, symmetric measurement leg up to this area if possible, if it presents itself, the opportunity presents itself. Well, market did push up. Market hit some areas of, well, let's do this. Where would you want to be a buyer? Well, for one, you do have that symmetric pull, but that was a guesstimation. If we was to do even if we was to do the fib from there, pull the fib on the 5 minute, you can see it's at the 62% area. So you have that, and plus you have a really, really clean demand area that the market is flying back into, which is that in that same area where the 62% area is. So that's a good confluence to wanting to be a buyer in that area. And also too, if I was to pull this, can't make this stuff up. We talk about a resistance. It's probably been checked multiple times. Yep. Resistance, support, resistance. That's going to turn back into a support when you got there. So that's 4 things telling us yes, that we might want to be a buyer in this area. And as far as volume goes, it is getting buyers are getting a little interested in lower prices that they're trying to make. So what I would want to see for it to prove itself, just as a more confirmation, because there's nothing wrong with waiting for confirmation. I know a lot of times that you might have too much confirmation and you might miss the move. Well, if you take miss out of your vocabulary and you never ever miss nothing, then you'll be okay because you live in abundance. You're not going to catch every trade. So miss is really a disservice to you when you say that, because you're not really missing nothing if you never jumped in it. You know what I'm saying? It's not yours. Don't worry about that. And if you see it often, it'll come back around to you. That's what abundance is. So what I would want to see is that the market at least make some minor high highs. This is 1, 2, and a possible third. Maybe, I know that's maybe a lot. A come down to some areas what need to be cleaned up, and then right there you can be a buyer. That's more of a confirmation type thing. Of course, you can jump the gun. I say this all the time. You can jump the gun. They are giving no ceiling uh, uh, signals, no ceiling signals, or no supply signals in this area that need to be confirmed. But more confirmation is always best. So yeah, I would look for a golden leg up um, somewhere in this area as a buyer. So that's that. Let's see what happens with that. Again, a double tap of that area would be great too if they could come down and even give us more information from the buyer. That would be something to watch for. Uh, I actually like that option better because you get more information. Let's say that the market does something like this, and then you do something like this, and then like that, and then like that, like that. But now we talking because this is your spot right there. That's it. It's go time. Right there. It's go time. So, and it actually getting a little better. So we have to just see. We definitely have to see how that turns out. It's a good area again, but caution, caution, caution. What else we got, fellas? Anything else? I want to check out. Should we check back out the Britishes? Because I don't know if anybody got in. Me personally, I'm not in anything. Um, my euro, my no, it wasn't euro. It was my Aussie chef took me out. They stuck me for my paper. And it be like that sometimes. But with money management, um, you're gonna be okay. If you got money management in your system and your method, you're gonna be okay. Trust me, I don't need to go to nobody window or bridge and jump off it. I'll be just fine. It'll be okay. Y'all don't have to worry about me, please. I'm still looking for that for some kind of a bearish attitude down there, but we'll see. Up there, I'm sorry. But again, do y'all have anything? I want to go to at least to maybe 9:30, maybe, because I wanted to see the bell. I think we was looking at some Britishes. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna go ahead and end it because I already know what I need to do. I need to, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Um, it's getting a little bullish reaction to that right there, that area. Not enough for me to be a buy right this second, but again, if they kind of prove themselves, then that's the area we was looking for a buy. So I'm not gonna take any more trades today, me personally. But I think we said the British JPY. So yeah, guys, let's end it. Yeah, let's look at the British. All right, and we did that, sir. We looking at the British. Like I said, the bearish for me. They look weak. The Brits look weak. It's not a play on the British people for real, but they look weak. And I'm not sure about being any buyers right now. as far as that goes. Man, so with that, we'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 6:00 a.m. Be there, get there. How they do on the commercials? Get there. Peace, peace, peace. 6:00. I'll see you guys tomorrow.